is one among the many feelings that human beings possess. But unlike certain feelings, fear is one that we feel is quite unwanted for us. So let's check out what is fear, how it gets generated, how it affects us, and how we can have a control over it. Welcome to EduGarnet. I am Kala Deepak. A part called amygdala at the back of our brain generates fear. Don't think it's unwanted. It's because of the fear generated by this part of the brain that we move back when we see a car approaching towards us at a high speed. It may not hit us, but still we get the signal of danger from our brain. So actually, the purpose of fear is not to trouble us, but to protect us. But the amygdala mistakes certain situations as problematic and tries to create a shell in the form of fear to take care of us. Fear is generated usually in 4 situations: uncertainty, struggle, change, and attention. Now, why these 4 situations? Because these 4 situations can happen in both positive and negative ways. For example, change. Suppose you have got a job promotion, say to a different location. Actually, getting a promotion is good, but we can have a fear in this situation, getting tensed about the new job, new location, the new colleagues, the new atmosphere, etc. Similarly is the case of attention. Suppose you want to ask a question, a doubt in the class. Many times we reject. Why? Because we think about the sudden attention that will appear towards us from our class teacher and our classmates. Actually, asking doubt is good, but our amygdala doesn't know that. It is only bothered about the fear factor. If we have to do a project or if we have to write an assignment, we may be allotted many days for the same, but usually most of us will choose the last few days. Why? It's our brain that didn't make us feel to do it, because our brain wants us to remain in the comfort zone. And it is this thought of the brain that usually puts us into trouble. Similarly, we may enjoy seeing horror movies with our friends. But at the night, when we are alone in our room, all those horror scenes like the ghost jumping from the Alamara will come to our brain, right? It's easy to advise others not to fear, but practically it's not that easy. So it's better not to tell others not to fear. And understand it's quite natural and human to have the feeling of fear. There is a famous quote in the book The Big Magic by Liz Gilbert, and it goes like this: keep the fear in the back seat of your car. And it means don't try to get rid of your fear. Let it be there, it's required. And it is because of this fear that we apply a brake when the signal goes red or when we see a danger. Fear can happen in 2 cases. One is thinking about your past and another is thinking about your future. For example, we may see people around us who keep on thinking or saying over and over about certain things that happened, certain negative things or problems that happened to them in the past, or that could have happened. Means that actually didn't happen, but that could have happened. So actually, that particular incident didn't create any problem to them. But saying or thinking about this over and over can create an effect on them. Similar is the case of unnecessarily worrying about the future. Next, let's check out the tips to control fear, which is very necessary. So the first step is to live in the present. As we saw earlier, thinking about the past and future can create unnecessary worries and fear. So the first main solution is to live in the present, is to think about the present, is to make your present perfect as much as possible to get rid of fear. And the second point is do more of what you fear rather than staying away from it. For example, if you are not, if you fear cooking or if you fear to drive, try to do it more. Push yourself to do it more. Because as you do more and more of a particular activity, automatically your confidence will keep on increasing. And as your confidence increases, slowly fear will move away. Because fear is fearful of confidence. So try to do that particular thing that you are feared of, so that your confidence will boost up. Third, fear of losing something. At At times, you may have a fear of losing something. For example, suppose you plan to drop your secure job to start up a business. In such a situation, obviously, you will be receiving all negative comments from the people around you. And this will start creating a fear of losing in your mind, a fear of losing your secure job. And the solution for this is to think about the positive sides or the gains that you will be receiving on starting the business. And when you think about the positive sides, do remember to think about the hardships also that you will have to face on starting up the business. And always remember, nothing can be achieved without hard work. Fourth point, visualize the outcome positively. Whenever you get a fear about something, try to visualize the outcome positively. Again, for example, let's take the case of business itself. Suppose you're going to start up a business. Rather than thinking, oh, will my business fail? Will I be a flop? Rather than thinking in that negative side, you can think in a positive way. My business is going to grow up. I am going to hard work and my business is going to grow up. It is going to flourish and I'll turn out to be the number one in the country or the world. So automatically forcing yourself to think towards the positive sides or towards a positive outcome will remove the fear from you. Fifth point, talk to others. It's always good to talk to others about your fear. But when you plan to talk to others, remember to choose the right person. Because if you choose the wrong person, especially to discuss about your fear, they may give you wrong advice and your fear may increase. So choose the right person to talk and discuss about your fear. But never keep it buried in yourself because it can adversely affect you. Point number 6, write down your fear. Write down your fear in a piece of paper in your comfortable language and read it out to yourself. Then you will realize that most of your fear are quite silly and can be just left off. It's a very easy and effective tip for getting rid of certain fears. Point number 7, extreme outcomes. Try to think about the extreme outcome that can occur because of that particular problem. Slowly, you will get rid of your fear. You will understand that, oh, it's only this much that can happen at the end. If such a problem exists or if such a problem goes on, this is the most that can happen to me, nothing else. And slowly, when you get this realization itself about the practical side, slowly your fear will be wiped out. So in today's session, we analyzed what is fear, how it gets generated, the 4 situations where usually fear appears, and 7 tips to easily have a control over fear. So basically, don't try to throw away fear. When you try to get rid of one fear, another may pop in. It's quite natural and human to fear. It's a part of us. Don't make yourself feel low about it. And understand that it is similar to the bump in the road. It is there just to alert you in certain situations in life. And always remember one point, there is only one thing that fear fears the most, and that is confidence. So try to do more of what you fear the most. Automatically your confidence will boost up and fear can be washed away. Have a nice day. Thank you.